This is Katrina Lucas here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I am a estate planning attorney with Worth Law Office, and I'm here to talk to you about some common questions we get from people. How can I get a trust information that my parents set up? How do I find out who the trustee is? How do I get to know what rights I have in a trust? These are very frustrating questions, and they're difficult to answer as an attorney because the answer is you may not be able to understand any of those things. A trustee that's set up that is part of a trust should know that they're the trustee. They should be informed. You should be able, the person that has access to that person's will or safety deposit box or fireproof box or personal records should be able to locate that trust and be able to communicate that trust. However, they cannot communicate that trust to anybody but the trustees and the named beneficiaries. If you're not a named beneficiary, they can't give you any information. They can just tell you you don't have an interest. Even if it was a parent, even if it was a best friend, even if it was any of those close familial relations. These, should you have come across a trust document and you don't know whether it's real or not, you need to contact an attorney and you need to see if any assets were in that trust. You need to evaluate it and see who the trustee is. Those are things that we need to do to make sure that the trust comes to fruition. Sometimes a person might say they have a trust, but they didn't fund it. They didn't put things in the trust. So when it comes down to paying information or doing anything else, the trust has problems unless a pour over will was issued once they passed away to refund to fully fund that trust. So and other times the trust may be written for somebody when they're in their and when they're earlier in their middle years, and then they pass much later than they expected. And so keeping up with the trust documents, keeping up with what trust assets was important for a decade or maybe a decade and a half, and they moved and things stopped being in the trust and it becomes an unfunded trust. In those situations, it can be very, very hairy as to what's supposed to happen. And that's where you're going to need to call an attorney to walk you through those processes. But the real thing is how do I find out? You're going to have to call and we're going to have to do some investigations. And the answer may very well be we can't answer that question. Or in order to answer that question, we could hurt your later claims as an heir if you are a secondary heir. So give me a call at 918-932-2800 here at Worth Law Office if you want to know about a trust or find out about a trust or dig into trust information because you think that you may be entitled to something. Uh, I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.